Hello, guys. I'm Carnage, your host at the TPP Perspective, the podcast about gaming and news about entertainment. I know it's been a while. It's been a while since last I have posted. I think the last episode of the season 1 has been about 3/4 of a year ago, and honestly, this is not the first episode of the season 2 itself, but surely it will be coming new year. I'm going to restart the podcast, so anybody who's listening, be ready. We are going to be consistent once again with a revamped season 2 of the TPP Perspective. Also, there is some good news for the viewers or listeners, if any, of the podcast. So stay tuned to the episode till the end, because we have something to share with you. And as I have already told that this is not the debut episode of season 2 of the podcast, so what it actually is. So today what you're listening is just a closer of the year 2025, and today I would be talking about some things that happened since I went away, and as usual we would be dividing the podcast into the segments of news and events of esports, followed by gaming, tech, then the usual review of some games that I have been playing since childhood or I used to play when I was a child, and then, as I have already announced, there would be something good news kinda to share with you guys. So the first section of the podcast, and there are many things that happened since we left the season 1 months back, but in one episode we cannot deal everything, and also I was busy in doing some adulting stuff, and honestly I was not keenly watching through everything going around in gaming and esports as such. So I have gone through the archives of internet and selected few things that I think I must talk about, some events that should not be left behind. I'm being honest when I say that I have not witnessed everything, and some of these are based on stats and some great news articles done by some great esports journalists and websites. So I would like to give some shoutouts to VLR.gg and HLTV. So with that, the first thing that I want to talk about is the VCT 2025. That was held in Paris. Actually, I was not able to watch a single of matches in the whole sum. I here and there watched a few rounds, and as of I remember, I joined in for the finals between NRG and Fnatic. I watched it, and I think I watched 2 of the maps. I think I watched Korod, and I watched Ascent, and I think I watched Sunset. So the VCT 2025 that was held in Paris, how was it for you? Please, if you followed the VCT 2025, write down in comments how your experience was, and whether you were in the stadium or watching in the warmth of your home. NRG performed very well. NRG against Fnatic, they won 3-2. It was a very entertaining watch for the fans of Valorant. Fnatic, who were runner-up, they lost to NRG while they were in the playoffs, I think, and NRG came to the finals after defeating 2 giants of the playoffs of the VCT 2025, and the teams were the Giantex and MIBR. Mentioning here that MIBR had Aspas, who was the highest rated player in the whole tournament. He had the highest KD and the highest ADR, as we all expect from Aspas, and Fnatic, after defeating their opponents in lower finals with a very bold 3-1 scoreline. I think, as if I remember, they defeated DRX and they faced NRG, and 2 players from both of the teams that were very astoundingly fantastic and phenomenal in the finals as well as in the whole tournament. They were Kayak from Fnatic and Brock from NRG, as NRG took a Korod, Lotus and Sunset from the hands of Fnatic, and Fnatic was able to win Abyss and Ascent, the MVPs. There were no recurring MVPs of each map, but I think overall Brock and Kayak from their respective teams were very noticeable. Also, we had very good performance from Crashies on Abyss, and Alpha on Ascent was phenomenal. And in the decider at the Sunset, I think the solo play, the solo gun game that Ethan showed was the deciding factor for NRG to take the final map from Fnatic and win the VCT 2025, making Ethan the only player to win VCT twice, if I am correct. Then it's something that is not easy to acquire and has certainly put Ethan up to the ranks of GOATs of Valorant itself. Now, moving to some other FPS titles, I have to talk about some recent news that I came to know about while I was searching about the VCT 2025 stats and event as a whole. That recently ban from global esports has been suspended by Riot for 1 year because of match fixing allegations that came from some leaked screenshots of the match between GE and Team Secret that happened around July of 2025, where the screenshots implemented that GE ban actually knowingly underperformed and threw the game, and for this the Riot, when came to know about the allegations, they hired a third-party investigator, Sports Radar, a team of investigators from Sports Radar. They did a round of interviews, and the report that they submitted that convinced Riot that there was something fishy going with ban, and in the verdict, with the suspension of 1 year, they have added 1 year training for ban about integrity and ethics, and post that 1 year of ban and training, he will be tested whether he learned the lesson, and then it will be a decision up to Riot to whether allow him to participate in esports organized by Riot or not. Now, moving on from Valorant, we are going to the Counter-Strike side of the esports. Actually, the tournament which I watched somewhat, the first thing that comes to my mind when I talk about StarLadder Budapest Major was the substandard broadcasting done by StarLadder or any organization who was in capacity to handle the broadcast, the audio system, because anybody who watched the StarLadder Budapest Major, whether it was on the mainstream or whether you watched on a co-streamer, it was horrible. The audio and video lags. There were two streams, a stream and a B stream. The one had video delay over audio and other had audio delay over video. It was a very horrific watch, especially coming from the major tournament that is so well received, well watched, well funded. I think there will be very few or none of Counter-Strike enjoyers and watchers who would not agree from what I have just said. But moving on from the organizational side of the major to actually the talent side of the major, that's the teams and the organization of the event. It's also was an historic major, as Budapest Major came to become the first CS2 major in which the grand final was a best of 5 instead of a usual best of 3. The fans of Counter-Strike 2 was well divided into two groups. One supported BO3, another supported BO5. I myself definitely was in the support of the BO5 grand final scenario, was happy to learn that Budapest finals was going to be won, but unfortunately Vitality, with their total domination and getting their, I think, third major, defeated FaZe, a team that I was totally convinced, if not show, if you don't believe, I can show you my pick'ems, that I never believed them to even go to the playoffs because how they have been playing. But I think addition of Twists and Jacob and the period of time that they got to play with themselves transformed FaZe into what we saw, that they, after losing their first match in the Budapest, they went on winning all of them next matches and finally challenging Vitality in the grand finals and also defeating the first map, and it was a very surprising way of things that happened in this major. Not to say that I was not able to go to the gold coin in the majors, but yeah, it was fun to watch. Vitality, I would say, in semis, after defeating a very solid 2-0 to Spirit by, I think, a very, very, very phenomenal performance by Robs in the semis. The MVP for the tournament, as usual, was Mr. Zaiwu, who was backed by a very phenomenal performance by Robs and an utter extraordinary performance by Medzi in the finals. And yeah, they defeated FaZe, who defeated Navi 2-1, despite of Navi performing one of the very great CS show up in their recent participations. Makatsi and Wonderful, they played phenomenal, but Frozen in the finals was very good, but unfortunately the whole firepower of FaZe was not able to stop Vitality on the backs of Mezi, Ropes and Zaiwu to stop flaming their asses the next 3 maps that they lost. And yeah, it was a very fun match to watch, and we loved watching it. And yeah, this is it. Now, moving on from the majors and VCTs, there are some roster change news that we have to talk about, that when I first heard about, I was not happy about, but then when I researched about it today, I somewhat came into realization that honestly it's not an all wrong decision, but there is something right about it, and we should not jump on conclusions. And for once, we have to realize that people behind orgs and people behind the decision making of these kind of stuffs are somewhat credible. Not somewhat credible, they are credible, and they are much more intelligent and much more versed with the scenario and the situation than we viewers. So what I am actually talking about is the roster changes that has happened in Team Spirit after they lost 2 to Vitality in the semi-finals of Star Ladder Budapest Major. Chopper and Zwei were they were benched, and the Zontix and Magic's duo has returned back into the roster. Half of the news, the return of Zontix and Magic's. I'm happy about it. I'm very much happy about it. Removal of Chopper, I think I'm neutral about it. I think he had his impact, but I think he was somewhat the reason for which Spirit was not able to perform as they used to perform in 2024. But the benching of Zwei, I was not happy about initially, because the way Zwei performed in the Star Ladder Budapest Major and the talent he had, it was very promising, and I was nearly sure that after this event, if anybody is going to be removed, it cannot be Donk and Zwei. But when I heard that he was benched, I was a bit surprised and a bit disappointed. But then today I came to know about an interview that Halley gave, I think, to HLTV, where he said the removal of Zwei is not because of performance or that he was doing bad. It's just because there are some role issues that Zwei wants to play or likes to play the role which Team Spirit doesn't want him to be in. And I think it's fair. It's fair not to push a player into a role that he doesn't want to play, and it's fair for a team to be able to actually hire players that can fulfill their demands and just not forced decisions on both of the sides. Also, Bali has wished that Zwei, as talented as he is, will get better opportunities according to the wishes of roles that he has for himself. So let's see how Team Spirit performs in the coming events, and let's see if we will be able to watch Zwei in more top tier tournaments. Moving on from Dong's team to a supposed future Dong, there is a Swedish 16-year guy named Male09 as his IGN. He has been in the talks in the whole esports community for a while because he has been performing very well and has recently topped the rating charts in the VCT Premium Leagues, and he has been performing very well. And it's not that he is someone new to the sports scene. He has been playing in some orgs, and recently he's a part of the active roster of the Meti Sport esports team. So I think 2026 is something. In 2026 we should keep a watch on this guy who can be the next Dong. Moving on from the esports section, now we have some stories to talk about in the gaming department of our podcast. First news we have to talk about is Clair Obscure Expedition 33, the game of the year, of the game which was very talked about, and the game which broke the record by winning most awards at the Game Awards, with a record 9 victories, including the Game of the Year and the Best RPG of the Year awards. But everything that shines is not gold, and recently there have been some controversy around the game itself because it was stripped down of 2 awards. One is Indie Game of the Year awards and the other is the Indie Debut Game of the Year award, which was given to Clair Obscure Expedition 33 by the Indie Game Awards. The reason being use of generative AI for the textures of the game. Reportedly, the developers of the game Clair Obscure Expedition 33 used some generative AI to make some textures for the game, and which, according to the Indie Game Awards rules and regulations, is something that is not allowed, and leaded it to be stripped of these 2 awards. And as of the statement from the developers, they actually agreed to the fact that generative AI was used for some textures, but they also added the fact that the textures that was added using generative AI was passed in the initial 5 days after release, and they didn't use the AI. That for the major part of the game there was no use of generative AI, but the initial inclusion of the generative AI was enough for the Indie Game Awards to rescind this award from the developers. So tell me if you have played Clair Obscure Expedition 33, how you felt, how you thought about the game, because it has been reviewed very good at Steam. And also, if you want to play Clair Obscure Expedition 33, comment down below. Moving on from Clair Obscure Expedition 3, the Game of the Year 2025, to supposedly Game of the Year 2026 or 2027, as the rumors are coming, the GTA 6 game, in the Rockstar game in which we are returning back to the Vice City, initially was supposed to be released in 26th of May 2026, was delayed a few days back to 19th of the November 2026. There are rumors running around that there might again be a delay to 2027, but as of now there has been no official statement about a second delay. And also some ex-developers of GTA 5 have commented that the people at Rockstar are well aware of the fact that this next delay would be very bad for the game, because lots of anticipation, and further delays on that kind of anticipation leads to a death of the hype, and that would be bad for the game. So let's wish that GTA 6 doesn't get delayed past November of 2026. And I know it's very stupid of me to assume it, but I want to wish that in November 2026, when GTA 6 gets released, it's not an all console release, and we PC gamers might also get a share of the pie. Moving on from the GTA 6, we have to talk about a major deal, a business deal that has happened between the public fund division of Saudi Arabia with Electronic Arts, American company, an American gaming giant. Reportedly, it has been a $55 billion deal in which the Saudi and some few stakeholders have acquired the majority in the Electronic Arts game publishers, and the deal is in way, and it might conclude somewhat near mid 2026. And it's recently in the gaming division, it's one of the biggest numbers that we have heard about being talked about and being moved from one account to another. And so the first thing that comes to mind is why Saudi is doing this. So it's been a while we have seen Saudi has been very involved in esports by in Counter-Strike, buying most of the decorated players and assembling their own Avenger lineup for the esports, and they are performing very well in certain other esports divisions. Also, the esports World Cup that they have recently hosted in 2025, that was also a event that was very attention seek, was given a lot of attention 2025, and now this. So on a very financial basis that we not generally deal with, is that Saudi wants to diversify its economic dependence on oil and move into entertainment and tourism a lot more. But we are here to talk about gaming and entertainment, and in this area, the only thing that we can think is that right now in this world, in the entertainment section, gaming is bigger than movies. Movies is bigger than all other forms of entertainment. Anybody who thinks about future, who likes to be prepared for future, should be investing in gaming. And right now, I think that's what the think tanks of Saudi Arabia are doing. They know that gaming right now is the biggest part of the stakeholder in the entertainment of the world, and in future it surely is going to increase because of other major players like Netflix also deeply getting involved in gaming, and also buying an publishing group such as big as Electronic Arts. Saudi Arabia is just not buying a company, it's buying influence, it's buying the infrastructure. And now we have to see is that this transfer of powers, transfer of reins from the previous owners of Electronic Arts to the Saudi Arabian government, the monarchy of Saudi Arabia, what direction does it take from current scenario? And for the major titles, and if we talk about the major titles that have been published by EA and those which are currently in the market, I think there will not be any huge shift in directions for those games. And the titles that we love to play like Battlefield and Apex and all, these games will stay as they are, but we might see a better regional server densities, somewhat more tournaments and events, and more servers set up for these games in the Middle East and also maybe Asia. So let's see, it's something in which we should keep a keen eye in coming near 6 years. Now in gaming, I need to talk about some games, actually 4 games that I want to talk about. in 2025, and these games are not something that are very special or something very groundbreaking, but these are few games that I wanted to talk about. And out of these four, the one is one of the most disappointing and expectedly most disappointing release of 2025. And yeah, I think most of you have guessed, it's Mindside. I'm talking about Mindside, the GTA clone that was boasted to be much better than GTA 6 itself, and anybody who is involved in the gaming community knows how big of a flop and sloppy shit the game was. And yeah, if you were unlucky enough to invest your hard-earned cash in Mindside, comment down below how was your experience, and if there is anything good about Mindside. But gaming is not about bad and worse and disasters. It's more about interesting, fun and good vibes. So now we will talk about 3 interesting releases of 2025 that are somewhat different from their league, or something very innovative, or something very old, something very known and old funda, but it's something that was well celebrated. So first, the well celebrated old funda thing, we are talking about the multiplayer extraction shooter that was released in 2025, and thank you to very brilliant content creators and streamers of the gaming community of the world, like the Burnt Peanut and XQC and all, Summit 1G. I didn't watch many streams. I was not well aware of those names, so I might not be able to name few of the key players or streamers behind this. But I'm talking about Arc Raiders, the extraction shooter that was released, which took Twitch streams to a ride. A very fun experience, I think, for the viewers. People enjoy it. It has very good ratings on Steam, and all of this had made me very keen to try Arc Raiders in near future when I will be able to play it. So moving on to the second game that was very interesting for me was Precinct. Precinct was released in 2025 near around May. It's a sandbox game for a detective and somewhat related to crime solving in an open world, a top-down open world. The game looks very fun. The setup and the mechanics of the game looks very fun. The visual art of the game looks very enticing, and I would love to be able to play Precinct one day. It's definitely in my wish list on Steam. Moving on to Precinct, the third game that very interested me was Dispatch. The game, it's a story-rich choice-making game. The basic premise that it is a workplace for superheroes, and the fun fact is that on Steam this game has 97% of overwhelming positive review. So if you have not played these 3 games, go check them out. And if you have played in these games, please comment down below which game you have played and what did you like about the game. And in future I will note it and ask you to help me if I need something to play this game. So now moving on from our gaming section, we are on the recent tech news that we have to deal about is the recent jump in the RAM prices. The prices of RAM is skyrocketing, mostly because of the high demand of the RAM chips, the RAM cards in the generative AI departments and companies and organizations, which has led to a steep rise in the RAM prices, and is utterly devastating for budget gamers and PC builders, those who their gaming PC bill in the year end at the time of the Christmas and the New Year. And currently it has plateaued at the max, but there is no confirmation when the prices will go down or normalize. And the most most recent news that I've heard about the normalization of the RAM prices, they said it may take mid 2027 or early 2028 to those prices to normalize. So let's see, because with this hype in the RAM prices, we have recently seen a minor jump in the prices of the SSDs as well, and some people have predicted that this might also lead to a near future jump in prices of GPU also. So I think 2026, early to mid 2026 is going to be a difficult time for anybody interested to have their gaming PCs assembled and join the community or upgrade their system as well. But let's hope for the best. Now the review section. So today, with this episodic part of the podcast, we will not be deviating much from the concept and much from the routine of our episodes, and from the past of my life, the few games that I was able to play. The next in the line, I remember the last we talked about, actually I don't remember, I think I talked about was Bounce or Snake Zenzia that I used to play on my dad's mobile phone. I'm going to talk about the time of my childhood when I was gifted a HP Pavilion desktop PC from my maternal grandfather, and that was my first PC at home, and I had loved that PC. I loved that device, and actually I played a few games on that PC as well. And the first that I came to remember that I'm going to review today is not a single game, but I'm going to talk about compact disc. Back in the days, there was a magazine, a kids magazine that used to come, that was named Champak, and the magazine publishers used a very innovative and a very fun and very kid-friendly way to advertise and make their magazine interesting. Was they were distributing a copy of a game CD which had collection of more than 30 games, I think somewhere around 30 to 50 games, shareable games on the disc with the magazine if you purchase them. And I remember I had one of those discs, and I used to play lots of games on that. Most of the games on them were some based on same dress me up like shit, but some of them were very fun and interesting. Some 2D platformers. That one that I can remember was a game based on Sonic the Hedgehog, and then there were some crime solving scenario games in which you had the agenda was to find some objects in a scene, and then there were some story based puzzle solving, Harry Potter inspired magic school type scenario games, and the visuals were somewhat better than 8-bit, and I remember the variety of games that CD provided with the lowest amount that it required for those games. It was a very fun experience, and it was one of those things that the kids were making kids turn into collectors. They were buying magazines, they were buying CDs, and they're collecting them, playing them. And the fun part was that those games were shareable, so you can copy and share the file to your friend. So it was, I think, one of the very early introduction of a gaming community sort of thing that I came to see around me and experienced it in a very limited scenario. But because in fact they were giving a free seed gaming CD, there were very few people who were having a gaming PC or a laptop at their home at that time. I'm talking about late 2007s and early area. So as of rating it, the games, there were many games and there were many different genres. There was many different level of mechanics and background sounds and visuals involved. But overall, I think I would give it a 4.5 out of 10 for me as a gamer that I am today, but for the kid that I used to play, I would give it a 7.5 out of 10. It was a very unique and fun experience, and kudos to the person who decided that they should distribute this gaming series with the magazine, kids magazine, and kudos to the publishers and the owners of Champak who did this beautiful thing for us kids. Now, for those who stayed and also for those who just skipped everything that I talked about just to hear the good news that I was going to talk about, is that year 2025, the time period in which I was gone, there have been few changes in my life. I might have climbed a step or a half in my life, and that movement upwards had put me in a stage where I was able to invest something on this passion of mine. I think a few improvements with this episode 00 of the season 2, and from the season, and the first episode of the season 2 that will be coming in the first week of the January itself. You would be seeing an improvement in the quality and the content of the podcast, because I may or may not have invested some resources, some money, some funds into my setup, and let's give anyone who is listening a hint that I may or may not have got myself a PC build, PC assembled. I might or might not have bought a better mic, might not have invested in a recording camera, and yeah, wish me luck, and wishing you all luck with the end of this year and for the next whole year that's going to come. Do what you love, do what you want, be with the loved ones around you, and spread positivity in the world. Keep gaming, keep making the community a better place, a place where you can come after all stress and difficulties of your life and the world around you, to a community which is warm and welcoming and gives you the necessary dopamine rush that you need daily. Happy New Year and best of luck for the coming year, and yeah, subscribe, keep listening, comment down below, and we will be returning with the episode 1 of the season 2 of the TPP perspective. I'm your host Carnage, signing off.